All right, folks. Just to talk about the difference between the Democrats and Republicans. It's not really ever really talked about other than on Fox because the media. I'm gonna turn myself down. I can't turn it
All the
down.
big speeches live tonight. Republicans this evening are making
There's
the
a
case
war
that they are for law and order
on the middle class, folks. And I'll go here and talk. I don't know a lot about politics, but I've learned quite a bit about what I think is happening, and it's been proven. And it started back in the 30s. If you study welfare, it came from FDR, and it was never designed to better people's lives in the long run. It was a safety net, folks. We should always have that. Social Security, same thing. It was never designed to have somebody just live off of it. I'm on Social Security. I wish I wasn't, and I was on it way too young. Now just look at myself, because that's it is my perspective, and it's my opinion, and I have a right to my opinion. But I'm looking at facts based on not only my life, but what you see, folks. The liberals, they have an agenda, and it's to do away with the middle class, folks. They want to destroy the middle class, take the wealth of this country, and give it really to the rich. They say Trump's for the rich. Well, no, he's for the middle class more than you realize, because that's really what this country is built on, the working class, the blue collar. There's always going to be the rich, and they made their money through ways that we really can't change. It's called capitalism. Just stay with me. I'm just waiting for knowledge to come. But what makes America different than most countries is we have a middle class. And what I'm trying to say is, if you just give poor people a check and provision and provision and provision, they're not going to move up to the middle class. They're never going to do it. And you'll just have problems with the poor communities. And even Jesus in the Bible says, the poor you'll have with you always. So you can't change poor people by just giving them things, folks. But I do believe in the safety net. What I'm saying is, the middle class is the stepping stone. No one will ever come from poor to rich. It's impossible. But it is possible for someone to work themselves up to the middle class. And it's also possible for the middle class to work themselves up to more of the wealth, upper middle class. There's really more than just three classes. And there's really, you got the really poor, homeless, you got the poor, and then you got in between. There's probably 2 or 3 more steps in the middle class. You got the lower middle class, you got middle class, you got upper middle class. But I'm just saying, you do away with jobs, you do away with trade, you do away with, I'm talking about trades, plumbers, electricians. I'm not talking about doctors and lawyers and people that make 6 figures. I mean, electricians make 75,000. Some might make 100. Well, they would if they, But I'm just saying, the working class, blue collar jobs. Democrats have, maybe the old Democrats were pretty good for the working middle class because they had unions and they were for it. But things have changed, folks. And I'm just saying they have an agenda. I was going to make some points, but I'm just not doing as good a job. But I just like talking about it, because the more I talk about it, the more I have insight, because I'm always after knowledge. in my life. I just do. I just like to. I like to learn and figure out stuff because that's really kind of a hobby of mine. Because I have not, I got a lot of idle time, so I think a lot on things, especially the Bible. And there's so many truths in the Bible, just like Jesus said, the poor you'll have with you always. And Jesus came to deliver the poor, folks. Jesus never keeps some, the gospel is basically this: teach a man how to fish. Don't give him a fish, teach him how to fish. That's what brings people up, is called education. And, the liberals and the media, they're against facts and they're against education. They want to keep people dumb and poor, low information voting, folks. And I just pray that that's not going to work this time. You got people that's learning and maybe, they're coming to the light and realizing, hey, I've been lied to. I don't have to be told that my race is this. I don't have to be told that that's just the way things are. And it just makes blame, folks. They just blame, and blame. It's the Trump's fault. It's the, the Republicans don't care. They're not in touch. They use that a lot. Trump's not in touch. Well, he's helped people his whole life. And he's not changed, folks. You think he just changed it? He went in the White House as an outsider. He's not a politician. He's not a politician, folks. And Washington's broke, and it's still broke. But Trump is his policy. It's about policies. It really is. And he's brought jobs back, folks. Manufacturing. When people get out of high school, there's a lot of people that just need skills to make $20 an hour. And there's nothing wrong with making $20. Not everybody can be a doctor. Not everybody can play in the NFL. Not everybody can have their own business to the place where they, come way up. They might start a small business. And after a period of time, but I'm just talking about manufacturing. Blue collar jobs have came back to America, but this coronavirus is it's just a flu, folks. And we lost 160,000 people, and they shut the economy down. That could have ruined America. You can shut it down and it won't come back. It's like Trump said, you shut it down for thinking the virus is going to go away by shutting it down. No, the virus didn't go away by shutting it down. Folks, 100,000 people on average die from just the plain flu. So we got 60,000 more deaths this year. Sometimes it's over 100,000. Folks, they're making it worse than it is because they want to shut it down. They want to shut this economy down. The Democrats do. And then what's going to come in? Socialism. And all their agenda will come in. And they'll attack the Constitution. What do you think all these riots are about? They're using hate. They're using mankind's flesh because they understand the flesh. So they just probe it and pick it and push buttons. The media does. Because they know how. That's, Satanist is basically this. Do what you want. You are your own God. Don't worry about nobody else but yourself. And that's what you got. Lawlessness, folks. That's what you got. But it fits their agenda perfectly. I'm talking about super wealthy. And they just make the middle class go away, and all that wealth will go to them. It sure will, folks. And everybody be poor. You'll have the lower class. It'll be just like Africa and all those, even communism. What do you think communism is? Socialism, same thing. No middle class folks, no freedom. You just go, you get told what to do, and you become cattle with a tag on your ear. And, that's what you got coming. And a lot of people are happy with it. Mice go into a mousetrap because the cheese is free. The cheese is free. But what happens to the mice? Well, I ended on that one. It scares me. I don't want to work. I've had a little business. I had two. The happiest I've ever been when I was working, when I had a job. I'm talking about one that I created with my investments. And of course, I made mistakes, and I didn't keep it going, but I wanted to, and I was happy to work. The worst thing a man can do is just lay around. Worst thing for a man is not to work, and there's no self-worth. He has no rights from his creator. See, everybody wants the wrong kind of rights. We want rights to hurt people. We want rights to just live any way we want to live. That's not freedom. Freedom comes with a cost and a responsibility. Not only a cost, but a responsibility to better the community with that freedom. Better mankind, your brother. That's what Jesus taught, the golden rule. The golden rule is summed up in a lot of scriptures. It's not in the Bible. You can't go to a concordance and look up golden rule. It's not in there. But the truth of the golden rule is all through the Bible. Serve one another. Prefer one another is more important than thyself. Humble thyself. If your brother comes to your house needing something and you're able to give him a loaf of bread, then do. The Good Samaritan, on and on, the Beatitudes, on and on, all through the Bible is about serving your brother and loving God, and love is an action. It's not just saying I love you. It's an action, it's service, and that's what will be taken away, folks. If the middle class is gone, you'll have self-service. Well, and you won't even have that. Well, you'll have that for them, but you'll be serving as a slave. Joe's right. He's the one who put people back in chains, the Democrats, folks, and don't think they've ever changed. Don't think they've ever changed. They just know how to repackage slavery, repackage everything. Communism is repackaged now. They know that they can't bring in communism like Hitler did or Stalin. They package it different with the media and the lies and the control and the spirit. It's a spirit's what it is. And folks, I'm not doing a good job on this video right now. Really not. I know when the teacher comes, when the Holy Spirit. I mean, He's helping me a little bit, but I'm just going to open my mouth, and I do it, and I pray that God gives me the words to say and the wisdom, because we all need to exhort and admonish and come together and hopefully be patriots and stand up for our freedoms and stand up for what really made America great. There's a lot of things that it wasn't great. It's never been totally great, but we've come a long way, and all we have is what we have. We got to keep what we got, keep the good, and hopefully but like Trump said, we're building something better. And that's what the Democrats said. Well, they're not building something better with their policies and their way of thinking. It's not going to be better. It's going to be socialism. Exactly. And then where's the money going to come from? Going to come from more taxes. More taxes. Jobs going away. Jobs will go away, folks. They'll go away. And you just have, you're going to have GPA's going to go down. Income's going to go down. Well, it might go all down. Everybody might make $13 an hour that work, but there's still going to be so many programs, and it's going to be so expensive. Healthcare will be so expensive, and not a good job. You won't have no choice, and you're not going to have a choice in education. It's all going to be communism, repackaged communism. Whew. I don't know where this came from. I didn't really want to make this video. I want to do a better job and not take so long. I mean, I could have said everything I said, and Carson Daly could say all this in 5 minutes, do a lot better job. But that's why he's professional and he's got a job doing it, and I don't. But look, we need to learn the truth.